It's time for the Gettin Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank Lake Millers Ferry Weekend Hunting and Fishing Report. A weekly update on water conditions, ramp events, generating schedule, what's biting, and seasonal hunting information with outdoor reporters Joe Allen Dunn, Kevin Sims, and Shane Jones. This weekly hunting and fishing report is brought to you by the good folks at Town Country United Bank in Camden, Alabama, serving their customers for over 40 years. Town Country United Bank's highest priority is satisfied customers. Now, here's your weekend Lake Millers Ferry hunting and fishing report.
Bigfoot, baby. Another one on the B&B Silver Shade. Team Bigfoot in the house.
Shane Jones, Crockett. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Town Country United Bank Gettin Outdoors podcast 200 hunting and fishing report for the weekend of January the 13th through January the 15th, 2023 with my outdoor reporter, Shane Jones. Shane is here thanks to Bob Sykes Barbecue. How you doing, Shane?
Doing great this evening. How you guys doing?
Joe Allen, you hear us all right?
I hear you good.
All right, we got a lot to talk about. I just got through talking with Miss Kay Donaldson about the Alabama Bass Trail. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about the economic impact bass tournaments, all tournaments have on area host cities. We talked about the health of our fisheries, and she mentioned the shad kill up on the Tennessee River. We'll talk about that in a minute, but she also talked about the bait report and angler etiquette. So we had a great conversation with Miss Kay Donaldson, and always glad to sit down with her. We got a lot going on. First thing I want to talk about, Joe Allen, is the camp chefs. I'm getting a lot of pictures in. You and Todd gonna have some judging to do here at the end of the month. We're getting some fine pictures in. I do want to remind everybody, if you hadn't already sent your camp chef photo challenge pictures in, send them in to the Gettin Outdoors Facebook page with the hashtag GOCCPC. Must be on the photo, and at the end of the month, we're going to judge your photo. So it's getting some good ones, some mighty good ones. And y'all going to have a job. When we're going to have another Camp Chef's video, Joe Allen?
I don't know. My partner there has got, he has to work to 9 and 10 o'clock every night. He don't get off but Saturday and Sunday. And this weekend, he's got other things to do. So I don't know. It's going to get You're going to get close for this next episode. We're going to have to probably shift gears, and I'm going to have to go to some alternate help me out, do something probably with the coon or something else, and the duck recipe may have to come again another day.
Well, y'all got the ducks now. We got the ducks. That's what everybody's looking for, them ducks. And I don't think too many people interested in them possums. You, Shane?
I don't know. I'm not, but I ain't gonna knock it till I try, though.
Hey, I called the Millers Ferry Powerhouse today. They're running 3 units round the clock at Millers Ferry, 3 units round the clock at Jones Bluff. The temperature in the river is 52 degrees. And everybody, I want to thank everybody that kept that Harriet too is the riverboat from Montgomery that's going. It went to Mobile. They have to go every 5 years and get a routine. I guess it's the Coast Guard has to inspect that boat, and they went this week. And I had so many of y'all. I called my field correspondents, sent me pictures and videos, and great videos, especially when it went through that train trestle down there in Coy. I didn't even know that train trestle still worked, but it sure did. I got some great videos and pictures, and I talked to old Snoop, who's one of the deckhands, and he said that boat will be down there to February, and then they'll make their way back up the river. So I'm sure we'll follow them back up the river. But that was a lot of fun keeping up with that Harriet too, going down the river. And I'm so glad all the locks are working, Joe.
Well, Big Daddy. Well, that's the boat that carries you out and cooks your dinner and all that kind of stuff, isn't it?
It's docked right there at the Civic Center in Montgomery, right there.
Yeah.
And yeah, you go out on Saturday night and go
Right.
blues cruise and all kind of stuff. Got a full restaurant, dancing. It's a party boat. That's what it is. All right, let's start with
We need one of them candy.
Yeah. Well, I told somebody with the IDA the other day, I don't know why they don't just throw some dang chairs on the ferry and put some porta toilets on there and ride the ferry up and down the river. Let folks ride the ferry up and down the river. All right, let's go to the.
It might make some money with it doing it that way.
Huh?
They'd make some money with it doing it that way.
That's right. Jared Hudson's on here. Robert Hutchinson. Rusty Godbo's tuned in. Old Noonan Hall in Natchez, Mississippi. Lance Cabinets, how you doing? Joe Allen and Kevin Bohunt. We've been waiting on that about 4 years, man. The Reeling Rednecks, Al and Brooke Smith up there at Lock 5. Wayne Edgeworth, the old Gollywhoppers tuned in. Tina Foster, how you doing? Freddie, how you doing over there in Meridian, Mississippi? Ryan Gunn, the old fishmaster. Boy, he's putting out some good-looking jigs here. He must not be off work, just sitting at home making jigs. Travis Lee's tuned in. And, yeah, it's about time for that Equip Ministry deer hunt on the Edgeworth Farm. Send me some pictures when y'all do that, Wayne. All right, let's go to the Town Country United Bank hunting and fishing report for this weekend. We'll start off with the catfish, limb lines, jugs, and tight line. I saw a bunch of catfish this weekend, Joe Allen.
Yeah, that high water really, this high water pushed everything where it's supposed to be, and that cold weather. We was worried about our shad for a little while, but this weekend I was over there raking leaves and cleaning the yard up. And after it warmed up a little bit, I looked in the backyard and the shad was popping everywhere. So then that high water pushed all those shad on back up in there, and the catfish are going to follow, and pretty much everything else is going to follow now. The sloughs is going to be the main way. That river fishing is probably pretty much over with till later on now. But the catfish is going to be in the flats and up in the sloughs, and the limb lines and short jugs are going to be the way to go.
And you heard Kay a while ago talk about it was a minor. She said a minor shad kill on the Tennessee River, Shane. So if they just had a minor shad kill up there, I guess that's all we had down here.
Yeah, we probably didn't have no more than that. I haven't seen any dead ones, but that doesn't mean they're not,
Yeah.
I've seen about a handful just struggling on top of the water. So it wasn't a lot.
Well, our old buddy, Big Bama Brian Taylor, bit the dust, went and bought that new 24-foot catfish boat. Now he's trying to sell his other one, but that's a nice boat he's got. He's going to light it up. It's going to look like the Harriet, too, going down the river when you see Big Brian coming down there. And Joe Allen, I'm so proud of y'all. You and Taylor Ward and Jessica Ward have released the 2023 catfish jugging schedule. February the 18th will be the first one. And I got to tell you, it's a lot of chatter going on about that first one on February the 18th.
I know, we're ready for it. I think it's going to be good. It'll be hopefully bigger and better than ever. So we're going to see.
Yeah, I was talking to John Stokes today. He said he was in your store the other day. John liked to won that thing. They wasn't but a pound or two off from winning that thing, the last one we had.
That's right.
But
that's right. We talked about that day when he come by the store.
All right, so this weekend looks like the water's going to be getting down a little bit. Catfishing going to be the same place, Joe Allen?
Oh, yeah. Flats, sloughs, short lines going to be the way to go. If you can't get any shad or skipjack or nothing, Dunn Sports is stocked completely. I've been telling, I got slack last year, did not keep enough froze bait, but this year I got a supplier from down in Cody in Alabama, and I can have all the froze bait we need coming from Simon Zerlock down there. He's going to keep me stocked in big pogies. That's the same thing as a shad. And he brought me another bait. He said it's going to be the best. And it's a silver mullet. And it looks just like a skipjack, but a smaller version of a little small skipjack. And I believe he's right. After I looked at that bait, I said, that's going to be killer. I've got those bagged up, froze in the store, waiting for the tournament.
All right. Well, that's good to know because bait's pretty hard to find nowadays. So that is your catfish report. Let's go to the crappie report. Before we get to the crappie report, Shane, I want to tell you, I want to take my hat off to you. I watched the whole hour of Shane Jones answering questions the other night live on Warrior River Outdoors page. That was some good stuff, man.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I got a bunch of people. Every time I run into the people from up around here, they're always asking me questions and stuff. So I enjoyed it. That hour flew by. I mean, they were people asking questions, and some of my buddies asked questions, that people want to know. They get in there and help me get involved, and it was a big effort from everybody. But I try to answer from what I know, and it went well.
Well, I tell you what, I learned something, and you always learn something listening to people like you. Because Joe Allen, I don't know anybody that's as relentless chasing them crappie as Shane Jones. Do you?
The only way you're going to learn how to catch something is you got to put time on the water. And Shane is definitely putting the time on the water.
Oh, yeah. I'm on go.
Ain't no doubt about that. No doubt about that. And this weekend, up at the Alabama River, we're going to put in at Cooter's Pond, the Alabama Crappie Masters, second tournament of the year. I'm looking for some big things. Look like he's going to have a good tournament. I sure hope so. That boy is doing a great job, Shane, promoting that thing. And I hope he has a good turnout.
He should. I think he's got about 20-something people signed up, and there's some hammers going to be there. So I look forward to seeing everybody up there. So,
you going to be there?
Yeah, me and Richard's going to go there. We're going to be there Friday night and probably go out to eat with some of them. And hopefully the river calms down a little bit. I know they said that they've had Jordan wide open, pushing all that water down your way. So hopefully the fish will calm down and get settled in.
Well, it's going to all depend on what that front does come through tomorrow. And what I'm looking at tomorrow, I don't think we're going to get that much rain. But
I don't think so. But, I'm learning more. I'm learning the sun affects them fish more than temperature to me.
Really?
I mean, just like the other day when I was down at Joe Allen's place, that Saturday I was off, and it was pretty, and we kept 50 fish, caught some, had a blast. And then when I went Monday with Harold, it was foggy. We caught some, and then the fog rolled back in, and them fish just went deeper and just kind of settled in and quit. And I was like, the only difference was the sun. I mean, the temperature was about the same, but I'm learning. I don't think that water cools down as fast and mess with them fish. That sunlight has something to do with those fish.
Is that right?
Oh, I believe it. I'm learning. You know, I used to think, well, if the sun was out, they'll get behind timber and all this stuff. But when that sun's out bright, those fish get a little shallower. They'll be 8-10 foot deep, and when it clouds up, them fish go deeper, and then they act like they don't want to eat. I don't know if it's a pressure, a sunlight thing. I don't know, but I'm learning. I'm trying to study it, but you know, it's just different scenarios all the time.
Well, what about this weekend on Millers Ferry? That water is still moving. They got all the units running. The water's moving.
Right.
But
I don't know. You have to look where the bait is. Like Joe Allen's saying, if those shad are moving in the creek mouths, those fish are going to be somewhere not far from them. Mm-hmm. You know, 2 weeks ago, they all went to the main river and got deep, and the Strike was having a field day with them down there at 35 foot deep, and the crappie were, you know, above them on treetops, and they were scattered out. I didn't see a lot of fish together. They'd be a group of 5 or 6, but I'm learning too on the river system, you're never going to see those big schools, you know, like you do on the lake system. You got to look, you know, and when you go fishing in a lake, like Eric Cagle says, you might see a school of 20 or 30, but you know, on the river, you might see a school, you know, a group of 5 or 6 fish on a brush top. You better stop and fish for them. You might pick up 1 or 2 and got to move on. So, you know,
I don't know. That was a hell of a damn pile up under that houseboat.
Oh yeah, they will do that on the houseboat. Well, that thing's gone now.
Yeah, houseboat's history.
That thing's hugging the dam down there now. But yeah, I would. There's different scenarios, man. We're about to get to my favorite time of year in February. You know, I done a YouTube thing about it last year. When those fish start moving up, I like that because there's a pattern. You can stay on it for a while, and a lot of people like to fish the spawn. I like to fish that pre-spawn when they're all making a move. I like that.
Well, that's coming up right now.
Yes, sir, it's coming. The end of this month depends on the nighttime temperatures. You know, the fish have got a few eggs in them, and they're going to start slowly getting into creek mouths and falling in creek channels just like a roadbed to where they're going. And you know, there's just so many different patterns right now, but we want it. The best pattern is when they're pre-spawning and moving. That's what you want.
And Shane, me and you talked this afternoon about those fish moving in those sloughs, scattering out. And Joe Allen loves that trolling. That's how
that's why they used to catch them fish scattering.
Well, there's a certain time of year that trolling is still going to work.
Oh, it's still
that's coming up right now.
That's exactly right. You want to catch a lot of fish. A lot of people shy away from it, but I mean, what I seen 2 weeks ago, you could have trolled and caught some fish, you know. But
not Shane. The trolling, what you're doing, you can catch as many fish doing what you're doing as Joe Allen can trolling.
Yes, I can. That's exactly right.
Talk about that a minute.
Well, you got to first thing you need to do, and you're dealing with the river system. You got so many different fish you're looking at with a live scope. You got buffalo, you got carp, you got catfish, you have, you know, a spoonbill. You got to realize what a crappie looks like, number one. And the best way to know what it looks like is catch the thing. Mm-hmm. You catch one, hey, I know what it looks like. Then you got to figure out, you know, what they're doing. Like you may be a guess. You may be guessing, hey, they're fixing to go in that brush top, or hey, they're running out here in this creek channel. And you can actually chase them down, or sometimes they're hovering, sometimes they're running. I mean, there's different scenarios where there's no rhyme or reason I don't know why they do what they do, but the blackfish really do act different than whitefish. I call it a crappie rut, but that's a kind of a weird analogy, but I think they're up feeding. The female's hormones are going, the male's hormones, and they're not far, a month and a half from being up on the bank. So, you know, I think they get fired up and do, but you can chase some fish down.
And if you don't have a live scope, Joe Allen, that's why the trolling works so good.
Oh yes, exactly.
Well, exactly. What I say, the trolling is the old man's game that ain't as quick and agile with the live scope like Shane. The live scope, Shane is the new crappie fisherman.
Yeah.
You know? And it's a really more of a young man's game. I'm gonna tell you the truth, because it's hard working that stuff. I've done it with him and done it. And yes, you're gonna kick. Actually, he's gonna target more fish and actually, he'll eliminate a lot of time with that. He'll hunt his fish down where I'm just going through there slow, easy, drinking my coffee or Coca-Cola, taking my time, resting, where he's actually working at it. And it's just two different methods that works, and just which one is you're more accustomed to. And I think both of them will do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, like I said, you get to where they're schooled up, you drop them long rods out. I know a lot of guys that still have live scope and they still trolling. They just, they catch a lot of fish. I mean, if I look out there and there's several schools at 10 foot of water, hey, you put them rods down there at 10 foot of water and you go through them, you're gonna pick some fish off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not gone totally.
But Shane is going. I know your method. You're going to look there and look at one. You've told me, say, look, oh, there's one. You wouldn't even throw at him. He's too little. Let's keep going.
That's exactly right. That's true. You can distinguish the size fish once you get everything set. It is a single fish game sometimes like that, but it's just then there's so many scenarios right now going on because there's very few fish really bunched up on the brush tops. Right now they're shad moving, so the crappie are moving. I mean, that's not rocket science.
That's right.
I mean, the shad aren't hanging out by a tree. They're out roaming and schooling and trying to get over this cold spell. And if you find a treetop that's got shad on the end of it, then crappie ain't gonna be far. I mean, that's a fact. Well, they're not gonna be far from bait. Eventually, I'm not saying wherever that bait moves and you go, man, I got a whole bunch of shad. I don't see any crappie. Oh, they're coming. I mean, they're coming. They might not be there right then, but they're coming.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, it's a lot more fishing now than it used to be. You got to go out there and hunt them, and then you got to figure out what to throw at them. And Shane, we were talking today, and I have always heard tipping a minnow on a jig worked, but you're saying now they're tipping dead minnows on.
They're actually, I got guys that are some of the best fishermen in the country. They're threading a minnow on the jig head dead.
Yeah.
Threading him out, coming out his belly, just like you would a jig. And I guess the sin of that minnow and it dead, live, whatever. Once you fire those fish up, John Foreman was telling me, I haven't personally done it, but once you catch a fish out of a brush pile and they get fired up, you're going to be using the minnows in that brush pile the rest of the time till you change.
I'm
going to try it. I've never done it. I'm actually going to have some this weekend because I want to see it happen, but I didn't realize that they were just hooking those minnows like that. But a lot of the pros, they're doing that, and I didn't realize it. I thought they were just, hooking them through the back or the tail or through the lips, like I've always seen.
Yeah.
But they're actually threading them on the hook coming out their back.
Never heard that before.
That's just scent. They want that scent on there.
But I mean, I've dropped a minnow in those brush piles, and that minnow be kicking, and you're like, oh, it's going to get ate. And they won't touch it. Then you throw a jig coming through there, and it's coming through like this, and then they eat it. You're like, what in the? It's just, I think it's more a reaction and the thrill of the chase, to me. So,
Shane, I saw in one of your videos, you had a guy there fishing with you. He wasn't catching nothing. And you kept on catching, and you tell him to look, you ain't got any scent on your jig like
that's
mine.
Exactly right.
I've been catching fish. I said, take this crappie. You took, and you rubbed that jig down.
Right. I'll tell you, I'm not sponsored by these guys. Eric Cagle is. It's, let me get right here. It's Potsky Fire Gel. This stuff looks like Vaseline. And let me tell you, Tommy come fishing with me. We went fishing one day in the Mopolis, and the next day he had this, and he tore my butt up. And it'll stay on a hair jig. It'll stay on there for hours. But I believe in scent. Like Eric said, I don't think they can smell, but that scent goes through their gills. And if they're chasing a bait and they smell that scent goes through their gills, and they sense that sheen off of this, it helps. I believe in scent just as much as anything. But that's what we were putting on the bait. It's a Potsky Fire Gel. Well,
we getting some good information out there.
I'll take it. I'll smear it on that jig, especially a hair jig, and they make shad color, shad flavor, shad scent, But I used this last week, and I'm telling you, I catch fish with it. Like I said, and I'm not superstitious, but I'm not going to try to knock something when it's catching fish. So
yeah, well, I have always resisted. I thought it was overkill to put a monarch jig head. It never made sense to me.
Me neither. Hey, they're doing it. Hey, the guy, the fella that won the most money last year on the crappie trail. That's what they say. That's what he does. Yeah. Threads. Hayden Jeffries. I think he won about 225,000. He has got different rigs, but he's rigging minnows up on there. So
that's enough said. That's all you got to say right there.
Well, there's a reason why they don't let bass tournaments do it. So
yeah.
So you know
all
what
right.
I'm saying.
All right, let's go to bass fishing. Kevin and Jamie are on the way to where are they going? Chickamauga, ain't it, Joe Allen?
Like I said, when the shad move up, they're moving up. Yeah. And that water temperature is getting at the right where, it's getting pig and jig time for me, something slow. They're not moving fast. They don't want to chase nothing down right now. So, back used to when I fished for them, it was them ledges in the creeks, the banks with the sheer drop-offs, where they could move into some better water when they needed to, when it got cold. And when it warms up, they're going to come to the top. Like Shane was saying, when that sun comes up, they're going to come up and get a little frisky. And you may move up with a spinnerbait or chatterbait. Chatterbait season's coming up pretty quick, too. And that's the kind of baits they're going to be hitting right now.
Now, Kevin and Jamie are on the way to Tennessee to fish with Cole Sands Fishing, who is a diamond bait elite tournament angler. They fishing with him. Hopefully we get a good report from Kevin next weekend. I see his mama's tuned in, Miss Dottie, and hope Kevin and them have some good luck. We'll get a full report from them next weekend. But I don't know much about bass fishing. Do you, Shane or Joe Allen? I mean, I don't know of a tournament till February the 11th.
I don't know. Bass season's like crappie season. When the migration starts, so does the bass. They're getting ready too. That water gets 50, 56, 58, and it stays up there. Everything's going to be getting ready to go. Mm-hmm. February is a big transition month in Alabama.
Yeah, sure is.
No doubt.
All right, let's talk about the small game. Jarrett Hudson's on here, and I want to mention the 33rd annual Elvis Roberts Memorial St. June Coon Hunt coming up February the 17th and 18th in Jackson, Alabama. Always a big event. If you got a business or you want to help sponsor it or you want to donate something to the event for the auction, or if you want to set up a booth there, they are having vendors there, and I will have a lot more information about that Friday morning on the Friday morning live show. But that will be the same weekend also as the Alabama Hawking Association has their meet and greet in Demopolis, Alabama, where they bring all those hawks and birds in and go squirrel hunting, and that is something to see. I guarantee you that'll be the same weekend as the coon hunt, February the 17th and 18th. And then there's always a David K. Nelson squirrel hunt that the Alabama Wildlife Federation puts on, headquarters at the Central Alabama Farmers Co-op in Selma. I don't know the dates on it. It'll be in February, though. That's a big event also. I know Todd Prater's going to cover it. And also up in North Alabama, the Macy Knight Memorial Squirrel Hunt, which is probably the biggest memorial squirrel hunt in Alabama. And me and CJ Knight will do a podcast about that. I think it's in March, but we'll be keeping up with all that. And of course, we also keeping up with the small game, possum, duck, coon, or something that the camp chefs are going to cook for us. But that's about all I got. What about you, Joe Allen? Has Sarah been squirrel hunting yet this year?
She's ready. What she needs, Big Daddy, is you to carry up there and carry her hunting. She'll help you. She'll show out for you.
I can't walk. If I could walk, I'd carry her hunting because that's the only way she gonna go, I believe. All right, dear. Let's talk about the deer season's wide open, the rut's wide open, Joe Allen. I know you selling grunt calls, scents, and everything else at Dunn Sports.
I am. We got plenty of tinks, code blue, wildlife research. We doing actually starting now till probably the end of February. We're gonna have we got a 30% off sale on all our Drake clothes, Browning winter clothes, all that kind of stuff. Bubba's even got big sales on Browning rifles. We got scopes. It's a inventory reduction sale going on right now for the rut, and there's plenty of stuff in there. And this cold weather this weekend, you need to come get some stuff. So if you've never seen Bubba willing to make a deal. He's been too tight all these years, but he's loosening up. He's wanting to make a deal right now.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Hey, Denise is tuned in, and I know you missing Kevin. I can't wait to get a report from Kevin. Old Jason Domain's tuned in. Y'all gonna butt heads Saturday. You and
Jason. I was gonna tell you, Jason.
I lose y'all.
He made me. He started a Delta Jig company. He's tying I'm talking about some fine. I hate to use the darn things. They're so pretty, but
yeah.
He's tying. He said he come in third down there at Lake Talcon, but he's tying some jigs, and I bought a box. And man, I'm telling you, he's getting that company started off, and I've caught some fish with him. I hadn't carried them out but one time, so but he's doing that. He's starting to really crank it up. It's called Delta Jig Company.
I got some. He gave me some at that crappie tournament, Rolling Cooper State Park. He gave me some of those 30 seconds, Shane, and I'm ready to shoot some ducks.
Yeah, that's what they'll really sell in. But he said he caught. I think he weighed in 13.23, 7 fish at Lake Talcon on one of the shad color baits. I talked to him on the phone last night, but I meant to say something about it when we was doing the crappie report. But, if you're going to buy hand ties, you buy them from local people like Ryan Gunn and Jason Domain, and stuff like that. You just need to spend money with local people.
All right, good deal. And Jason said he's going to give me some news. I'm going to be at the weigh-in Saturday afternoon. So I'm looking forward to seeing all y'all up there. It's going to be a good turnout of some good fishermen. And talking about, go back to deer, I want to personally welcome the WA is having their 38th annual deer hunt, Wilcox Academy deer hunt this weekend. And I want to personally welcome all the hunters that are coming in here to the deer hunt. And I hope all of them get the Wilcox Area Chamber Big Buck tickets, because it is some big time deer being killed right now. And all y'all got to do is keep up with it on my Facebook page, because I'm putting them up there pretty quick. Ducks, I still see a lot of duck hunters. I didn't get many reports this week. Old Moo Brown, I don't know where he was, but he had a pile of wood ducks the other day. And now is the time. I saw on the internet today, and I know my brother Tommy got 2 for Christmas, and he put them up. It's time to put up your wood duck boxes. If you got some for Christmas, you need to go on and get them up. And I also got a great video from Russell Hanson the other day. His grandchildren look like they've having a pretty good duck season. And we got ducks in the freezer waiting on the camp chefs to cook them.
We're going to get it done.
All right. Anything else? Y'all got anything else? I want to wish you
that cooking is hard business. I'm going to tell you.
I forgot to say something, Big Daddy, about Scott Williams and the Peach State Cotton Club. I think that's the name of it in Georgia.
Yeah.
Me and Eric and I are going to fish that charity tournament. They had I guess it's a member of their club. One of them's wife has brain cancer, and they turn it into a charity tournament. So, several of us gave away some crappie guide trips and stuff. I did, John, Eric, and a few others from Georgia. And me and Eric's going to fish that tournament on the 21st. But I'll say something about it next week. But it's going to be a good tournament, and it's a good cause.
It's going to be in Eufaula on the 21st of January?
That's correct. It's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Right. It's for the I shared it on my Facebook page that they got an auction right now going. They got tree stands and a couple pistols and some jigs and guide trips people are just bidding on, and they're raising money for that guy's wife. I can't recall his name, but
All right,
it's a good cause. You know, we're all a big family anyway, so
That's
we need
right.
to help out when we can.
And I see Scott Mitchell's on here. I wonder if he's coming up there and fish with y'all Saturday.
I don't know. I don't know if he is or not. I talked to him the other day. I know he said he may be off work. He may be working this weekend. I'm not sure. He caught some the other day down there. He said he broke one of his dock shooting rods. You know, he normally a long rod guy, and he shot some docks, I think, somewhere. So, but he said he caught some good fish too.
Hey, Julie Champion Huggins says she's got fried turkey breast from last spring in some gravy right now simmering. Send us a picture. And
that sounds good.
But you might win this prize, Julie. Rose Parker, how you doing, my friend? Anything else, Joe Allen? I hope you're feeling better. Joe Allen's been under the weather all week, and I hope everybody's wanting you to feel better. Shane, I'll see you Saturday afternoon.
Yes, sir. I'll be down there. We're going to be down there and hopefully have us some big fish. You're going to get to see some big fish. I don't know how many, but it's going to be a good time.
Joe Allen, I'll see you. You coming to Kansas this weekend? I believe Joe Allen done lost connection.
He probably has.
All right. Donna D done tuned in there.
You got it slipped in there.
Can you hear me, Donna? I can't hear them. They done lost connection.
Yeah, the internet may be messing up down there.
But she looks good. She looks a heap better than Joe Allen. All right, Shane, I appreciate everything you do, my friend. And,
yes, sir. I appreciate y'all too.
And like I said, we will see you. We will see you.
I got Donna here. She's nursing me back to health.
That's good. You got a good nurse. Ain't no doubt about that. Thank y'all so much. And we'll see y'all. Thank y'all for all the great advice. It was a great show tonight. And stand by Shane and Joe Allen. And we'll see y'all next week. Same time, same channel. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank y'all.
Taught me every critter's track and how to set a hair trigger on a trap. He taught me to shoot, scale, and skin and make a snare with a leather strap. He taught me to be a part
I don't know. We and Don's talking about it. We may come over Saturday and get up and work
on 2 light feet and try not to break no stick. I thank Daddy for my savvy, how to hunt and how to carry anything that I might need to get a piece of skillet meat. How to walk and how to hide.
Yeah.
How to crawl and how to slide. How to sneak, stalk, and climb and do it all on 2 light feet.
All right. We can hear you.